Eddie Rama's response to Donald Trump's projected election last time was quite definitive and was caught on television. In fact, I'm going to play you that sequence where he's being interviewed. And what if Donald Trump is nominated? This is back in 2016, and Eddie Rama was saying, well, it goes against all the principles, all the hopes of America itself. It goes against the standards. And today, Eddie Rama has been one of the first to join the European leaders in congratulating Donald Trump on his election. Now, maybe this could seem hypocritical, but maybe this is simply the way to succeed. This is the way forward, to bend the knee to the person who you've previously been excoriating. Is back in 2016, as I'm going to show you, the Albanian Prime Minister was notably critical, stating emphatically that a Trump presidency was at odds with America's principles, and in a memorable moment even saying, God forbid, the idea of a Trump nomination. But this time, Rama's measured statement indicates a recalibrated approach, acknowledging Trump's return while expressing gratitude for work done alongside President Joe Biden. Now, let's have a look at the older video.
America, it's a shining city on the hill, and purposes that we are listening from Donald Trump are really frightening and are really undermining what America is in our eyes.
You'll be aware, of course, that diplomatic niceties usually mean foreign leaders don't comment on elections in other countries. But you obviously decided that this issue was greater than that, if you like, that protocol.
I didn't comment on elections. I simply did something that I then realized was not the only and was not the first to say. Other leaders in Europe have expressed same concerns, because America and United States is far greater and far more important than for itself and in itself is, in our eyes, a world leader that we follow as a very, very inspiring example. And this inspiring example is built on values and principles that America fought for and made America great.
If it becomes clear that, and it's by, as you will follow these events very closely, that Trump does become the nominee, then it becomes a lot more tricky, doesn't it, for everyone concerned who has these fears?
God forbid. I think would harm a lot America and would harm a lot the democratic world, because he, at the end, will have to do at least some of the things he's saying he will do. And then, of course, it will be very, very harmful. And I very much hope, in the meantime, he'll be able to learn more about the world, to learn more about Muslims, to learn more about how there are very proud communities and people, independently from their religion, independent from their ethnicity, that live with the values America represents and protect these values, even with through sacrificing their kids in wars together with America.
And now Eddie Rama, along with others, has written, I'm going to read what he's written. Congratulations to Donald Trump on this extraordinary victory in America. It was a true honor to work alongside the 46th President of the United States to strengthen the bond between our two countries. That's Joe Biden. I look forward to the great privilege of working with the 47th President to further enhance our partnership for peace, prosperity, and further progress. The this change is emblematic of broader European political pragmatism, where leaders adjust their public tones to maintain diplomatic equanimity and safeguard national interests. Rama's current acknowledgement points to a strategy of stability, emphasizing Albania's intent to sustain its robust ties with America, irrespective of leadership changes. Rama's response is consistent with that of other European leaders who, despite Trump's contentious history with transatlantic alliances like NATO, and Eddie Rama, of course, I think nurses the ambition to become the Secretary General of NATO, opted for congratulatory tones reflecting readiness to cooperate. During his first term, Trump was known for a brusque stance towards NATO and European allies, criticizing their defense spending and suggesting that the US bore an undue share of collective security burdens. Despite these frictions, European leaders have shifted to publicly embrace Trump's re-election with diplomatic optimism. Rama's statement thus mirrors a delicate balance, respecting the electoral outcome and emphasizing continuity in bilateral relations, while subtly underlining that Albania, like much of Europe, remains committed to partnership over policy dissonance. The shift reflects a maturing in international strategy, recognizing that whether in agreement or not, European leaders must prepare for dialogue and alliance building in a world marked by flux. This sentiment resonates across Europe as leaders acknowledge Trump's return as a pivotal shift, cautiously optimistic but firmly focused on future cooperation. And Rama, the reason I single him out, although Albania is not a member of Europe yet, is because Rama is one of the older statesmen of the European community. He has been in office for so long he can look back to the time before the first Trump presidency, for example. And he has there is no real opposition in Albania. Rama will continue. But he has to lead the way in this extraordinary balancing act. And he will balance, all European leaders, including Britain, will.